Welcome back to Blue Zone Homestead. Today we are going to make quite a few things. I've planned today a cheese making day, a homestead roll making day, sourdough bread. We're going to have a look, do a sneak peek in a greenhouse and a polytunnel update, what seed I sowed in June, and we're going to start picking berries because the berries are now coming in fast. So we've got lots of raspberries and strawberries to pick and all the other lovely homestead chores, what I am super excited to share with you. But let's start with our first task. If you're interested, you are welcome. Let's go watch the vlog. I am making goat's cheese today. I am working with 14.5 liters of milk. I am going to bring this up to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Today I'm also making burger and chips for dinner. So we've got the burgers in the fridge, what we've done yesterday, when I've done the lasagna, and I've just put the mixture together and it's now sitting in the fridge. All the flavors are nicely combined. They're ready to just make the patties, the little burgers, and make the burgers, cook the burgers. Also making today rolls. So I've just got warm water, about 110 to 15 Fahrenheit milk, and I'm going to add some yeast, and we also are going to add some honey. The honey and the yeast, love it. We'll make a good stir. We'll give a very good start for our dough. I am just going to leave this in a warm place for 15 minutes, and then we're going to do the next step. My milk came up to temperature now, so I'm going to remove it completely off that stove, and I'm going to add the rennet. I am also making a sourdough bread, and I would like to tell you this. You know, when lots of time I was thinking like my sourdough starter died, I haven't fed it, it's been too long in the fridge. I have done an experiment. This sourdough starter has been in a fridge, untouched. I've not used it because I've got lots of little sets going on, about 5 to 6 months. It's developed this very strong, like alcoholic smell, like a blackish, very dark water on the top. So I've just discarded that, scraped it back, and I've used the tablespoons and I fed it. I fed it only twice with 3 times more of flour and same water, and I've managed, after 2 feeding, I've managed to make this sourdough bread. So today I fed it again, so that's the 3rd time it's been fed. It's already rising, so it is live. It is working. So you know, you cannot kill your sourdough starter. So I'm making today a bread. I've just heated up some milk. I'm gonna use milk today because I've got plenty, and I've just got this leftover dough in here. I'm gonna mix that in with it. I'm going to give it a good mix, leave it for a couple of hours, and we're going to feed this with our sourdough starter with some salt, and then we're gonna bake this tomorrow, and I am very curious how this is gonna turn out like. I always use bread flour, very strong bread flour, to make sourdough bread, and always use my hands. I mean, I can't even remember the last time I've used the machine to help me mix the dough. I think it's a habit now, and I really enjoy it. So it only takes my version, the easy version, literally, honestly, few minutes if that. And I love using the shower cup. It's my best kitchen hack. Just tidy up a little bit and getting ready to rennet, because my 14.5 liter of milk is now up to temperature. It's at 19 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm using 8 teaspoons of animal rennet, and I'm going to stir that in like about a half a cup of water and give it a really good mix from the bottom to the top, all around. Make sure that rennet gets all over the milk. And as soon I've done that, I stop the milk, the motion of the milk, and just leave it to it. Sometimes it's 15-20 minutes, sometimes I wait 30 minutes, it all depends. I do that little test, and when it's ready, I'm just going to cut the curd. The potatoes in a tub doing really well, and I'm just topping them up with some extra compost. This compost, it's been in a chicken run in a plastic composting bin for a while now, so I think this is now perfect to use to cover the potatoes. So at this point now, these potatoes in this tub probably about half covered. I mean half full in those tubs. What I'm going to do next, I'm probably gonna put some straw to fill it up, these tubs, maybe in a couple of weeks. Look how lovely this vertical planter is doing what we've done about a month ago. We are in a pretty greenhouse where all my sweet peppers are doing so well. It's 18th of June today, so just since that last tour, that's really going so well. I have planted these pumpkin seeds about a week ago, and one is now coming up. So I've got 4 in here, in these little pots. Also, these sunflowers, now we really need to plant them out. So that's gonna be a job this week. And I would like to separate this lemongrass as well. And the okra is not doing well. I know I keep trying every year, but this is bin basically. And also I've lost my 2 watermelon plants in a polytunnel, and the melon is not really doing great in here neither. Although this one is looking better, and it's got like a little tiny melon on it, so we'll see what's happened. But it has been so cold. Even today it's early afternoon, and we're going to pick some berries next, because the berries are looking fantastic. So we're going to pick some loganberry, raspberry, and some strawberry today as well. But yeah, it is chilly. It's cloudy again today. The berries don't taste that sweet, because we had cold weather, too much rain, not enough sun and warmth. Our fruit is suffering. So we still got lots of lovely food, but the taste is lacking. I have done a progress on this raised bed, because the gherkins are looking okay considering this cold weather, and I've put some extra string, and for most of them I've just twisted around those little... I've used string and wool around it, and actually I can see the very first gherkins on these plants. So I've got high hopes this year. Just over half of these beds are gherkins, so I am hoping that we can pickle some gherkins this year. Other side of the tunnel, in the other raised bed, there are the cucumbers, and they are doing fantastic as well. So they are coming up nicely now on a string. As you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and all doing fantastic. So that's where we put 3 melon. So these 2 watermelon. This one is now died completely, and this one is still looking okay, but it hasn't put any growth on for weeks. And this melon, the yellow melon, again, it's, can you see the leaves are yellowing, sicky looking? It's not looking good at all. Loofah, I really wanted to grow some loofah this year, but because of this cold, I know I'm keep repeating myself, but they are looking okay, and I can see new growth coming, but it's stunned. It's not happened nothing really for weeks since we've planted them out, but they still hang in there. We've got 4 loofah plants along this raised bed. The tomato bed, this one particularly, I'm sure we've planted this first. Looking fantastic. We have got so many tomatoes now on them over here as well. This was the very first one. They are doing amazing. Really beautiful. Everything in this bed, stunning. So happy. So the kale, we've got poppy, calendula, celery, tomatoes, basil, everything's looking fantastic. We've even got one cauliflower in the middle, doing really well. I have sown quite a few seeds in June, so I've done spinach, dill, another giant winter spinach, climbing beans, butter beans, cobra beans, those black beans. They're actually black the seed, the purple in color, coriander, parsnip and carrot. And I've also done some more in here, some borlotti beans and dwarf French beans over here. So let's see what's happened. I didn't have an easy start with the strawberries after all the rain we had and all the slug damage, but now actually we can harvest some. I've only harvested maybe a good few handful, but I was so happy. And since then I've harvested some more, and if I've got some time later today, I probably go out again and pick some, because we are going to have a lovely week ahead, lots of sunshine, so hopefully the strawberry will taste really yummy. I am in a fruit cage now because we are having tons of raspberry. So I've got yellow and red raspberries, and they're both in full swing. Honestly, I've picked a massive jar full of lovely raspberries. I am so happy. So I refresh it, and then I'm just keeping them in the jar in the fridge. And when I've got enough, so at least 2 kilograms, preferably 3-4, then we are going to make jam. I have made raspberry jam, I have made strawberry jam before, and I've also made mixed berry, and that's amazing. So I'm sure we can do again all these this year. And I'm just working on the dough, on the bread dough, and catching up with my friend on the phone. It's always nice to catch up with our friends. The cheese is now ready to go to the cheese mold. So I'm going to put that in here. I've already put plenty salt in it. The salt will give a lovely flavor. I'm just transferring this now to there. And then we can have a look the bun and a bread dough in a minute. And I'm gonna peel some meat potatoes because we make burger and chips. I'm also gonna go and pick some lettuces. So this is the cheese mold. I have got two, the very same looking. This is the larger one because I've used 14-liter milk today, so this will make a large wheel for me. So what I do, I'm just going to twist it until it meets resistance, and I'm probably gonna turn the cheese 3 times before I leave it for overnight. And that's it. Next, I'm going to stretch and fold the sourdough bread dough. So I usually do this 3 times as well before I shape it and put it in a Benetton basket and put it to the fridge for overnight, and I bake it the next day. So what I have done so far, I have divided the buns to bun shape, and I put damp cloth to give them a chance to not to dry out, and I'm going to put this in an agar here, give them the warmth to rise so we can make the buns for the burger bun and chips for tonight. And I've also cut and got ready the chips. Look at these purple chips, it just looks amazing and so appetizing. I've only put a little bit of olive oil or rapeseed oil, and that's it. I think I'm just gonna put a little bit of salt on it, and this will go to the active fry for 20 minutes. Now I'm ready to swap the cheese in the cheese mold. So I'm just going to remove this and unfold it. It's already got this beautiful, lovely wheel. Turn it over. And what was on the top, it goes to the bottom. What was in the bottom goes to the top. And I'm going to put this back to the mold and weigh it down. Simple as. Perfect. I've also made mozzarella as well, guys. And I've just got that cheese out, the goat's cheese, aged goat's cheese out. I'm going to slice that. That will go to our burger bun. And we are now ready to shape those burgers. Just washed my hands. So this is the mincemeat, the goat's mincemeat we flavored yesterday. And now I am just, oh, it smells gorgeous. That's been in the fridge overnight. Sticks nicely together. Yeah, maybe I give just a little bit of breadcrumbs. Okay. I can make meatballs. I might make some meatballs as well. And we can use some marinara sauce or some nice flavored tomato sauce we've made last year from the pantry. And make maybe a pasta meatballs as well this week. So that's one burger. Yeah, I might make 4 burgers and the rest meatballs. And I'm going to put those buns in an oven, in my baking oven in the Aga, for 25 minutes. I might put some egg wash on it before we put them in. Okay, so these rest I'm gonna make meatballs with. So I'm just gonna make these small balls like that. It's been a busy day today, so I've picked some strawberries and lots of raspberries. I've also made goat's cheese, mozzarella and burger and chips, and we are getting ready the meatballs for tomorrow. So tomorrow now I've got some dried homemade pasta left, so we just cook that, and we're just gonna go to the pantry and grab tomato sauce or juice and see what's in there, and we can make a lovely dish again. I think that will make a lovely meal in here. Look, 11. Okay, I'm going to do a folding, so I'm going to fold this dough from a sourdough bread, stretch and fold. This is my second stretch, and I usually do 3 stretches and then shaping the dough in my Polytunnel basket. That's it. Perfect. Our next job to cut up and portion out this beautiful lasagna we've made yesterday. I'm going to put it to this glass dish so it doesn't take that much space in the fridge. And I also need a tray. So look how beautiful this lasagna looks, and it tastes divine. Absolutely delicious and all homegrown, homemade. You know, I was going to freeze actually some of these, but I think we love it so much that actually I think this is gonna go. And I had friends over as well, so my friends tried it. So I think that's not gonna be a freezer meal after all. But today it's a burger day. And tomorrow it's either lasagna or that pasta meatball dish. And tomorrow I'm planning to bake a Victoria sponge. We are ready to put the buns in to the oven. I'm going to just give them a little egg wash. I washed the salads, what I've just picked from the garden. We're going to have that with the meal. And I'm just got this sauce, a roasted pepper. We're going to serve that with the burger and chips and the mozzarella just made. It's looking and tasting fantastic. So just slice a few up, what I'm going to use in a burger, as well as the aged cheese. The buns are ready. And I think the burger is ready too. So I'm just going to take them out. Maybe give them 2 more minutes. Okay, I'm ready to dish up. So we've got the buns ready. good. Still so hot. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm going to put some of this dill sauce I've made in the bottom. This was the alarm for the buns to take out, it's already out. Right, now I'm going to add 2 slices of mozzarella. Then we're going to add some mayonnaise. I've just made this mayonnaise. Delicious. Perfect. And now we are going to put the burger on the top. Like this. And I'm going to add this roast pepper sauce. I'm going to put this in there like that. And I'm going to put the lettuce and the top on. It is huge. This is gonna be so much fun to eat. So that's one for me, that's one for Al, and we've also got some chips that will hold it in place. Oh, looks so good. I'm so excited about this. Few chips. Like that. This looks amazing. What do you think? The sourdough bread turned out amazing, delicious. We have got enough bread on our hands now, so when I make more bread, what we really need or consume, I like to make a homemade sourdough breadcrumbs. So what I do now, this beautiful bread we only made a few days ago, it's nothing wrong with it, it's beautiful. But my experiment with that 5-month-old sourdough starter, what we haven't touched in the fridge, what I was just telling you about, we made another beautiful bread. Amazing. So all these are now leftovers, and I really enjoy making our homemade breadcrumbs. So what I do, I cut the bread up. It's, you know, it don't need to be particular. It's just maybe just like a good bite-sized pieces, and we're going to blitz it in a food processor for fine crumbs. I've just made one, so just to show you. So, you know, like a kind of these kind of crumbs, or even smaller. It depends how really would prefer it. And then for me, this is by the Agar. It just dries out within a few days completely. And then I like making flavored breadcrumbs, you know, like we can put onion powder, garlic powder, chili, basil, whatever flavor breadcrumbs you want, you just make it whatever your family prefers. So now this bread will give us plenty breadcrumbs for the upcoming weeks and months to use up. I usually leave them in quart jars and they just last fine there for me. So when we make you know, fried cheese, fried chicken breast, turkey breast, or anything where would you put breadcrumbs, you can use those up. So this is the next job, and I'm just going to blitz it in now in a food processor, and I've got this big tray ready, and I'm just going to leave it in here by the oven for a few days before we can flavor it. When my bakery, whatever I make, buns or bread, cools down completely on this cooling rack, then I'm just putting them in a plastic bag like this, and I can either make it in a bread bin out on a kitchen counter, or sometimes I put it in a fridge and we just use it up as we need them. So this turned out brilliant. What didn't turn out brilliant, friends, the cheese. You know, I probably neglected a little bit. I've done too many jobs yesterday, so my cheese didn't turn out brilliant. What I mean by that, first of all, it's stuck to my cheesecloth, which is always a nightmare. Secondly, it's just crumbled apart. Oops! I don't mind to show you this because this can happen. You know, in cheese making, you don't need to be so particular, but you do need to focus, you know, and you do need to watch those temperatures and so on. But never mind, nothing gets wasted in this house. I've got an idea. Yesterday, I've made this dill sauce what went with the burger, and another accident. This happened once before, and what I've done, I've melted the cheese in a saucepan, and then I've made mozzarella, and it worked, friends. But actually I made it yesterday because I had this problem last week, and it worked amazingly. So I'm gonna attempt to do the same, but this time I'm going to use up this dill sauce. So my plan is to put all this cheese to this dill sauce, and we're going to melt the whole cheese on medium heat, and when it melts, I'm going to start stretching the cheese. At this point probably it's going to be really hot, so I might need gloves, I might not, we'll see. And then I'm going to have an ice cold water, and when I stretch the cheese and make those little mozzarella circles or balls, I'm going to just dip in that cold water to set. And you know what? I am so excited to do these experiments because usually they just work out really well. I mean, this cheese now, it tastes good. So really, you know, it's edible, nothing wrong with it. It just didn't have that shape. So we can't really slice it this way, you know. But that's what I'm gonna do. And let's see what's happened. So it didn't quite turn out as mozzarella this time. Probably I should have not put milk with the cheese, but I did. So now it crumbles back again. But what I'm gonna do now, I think, I'm gonna put them in breadcrumbs, like mozzarella sticks, and I'm gonna try to fry it. Smells amazing, but it's not stretchy. Yesterday, when I've done the same, it was beautiful stretchy. I thought it's gonna work every time, but it's not the case. But you know, all these experiments, see, this is crumbled now. It's so good. I will let you know what this breaded cheese balls turned out like when I fry it, and we're gonna try it. And if it works out well and we like it, that was a good accident. Maybe we can make this more often. Well, thank you so much for spending time with me, and see you very soon. Bye, friends.